And that, by
of
the way, is why Christianity took off in the Roman Empire eventually, after many years of persecution, it should be said. But there was a true thirst on the part of many people within the Roman Empire, which was so corrupt and drenched in blood and in gladiatorial games, so to speak, and other forms of unspeakable
diversion.
atrocities and panem et circum, bread and circus. There was such a rising, ever increasing level of disgust and despair on the part of many common people in the Roman Empire that Christianity, because it it's rooted in the Torah, in the Hebrew Bible. Yes, of course, there are certain things were added to it, and it was interpreted in a certain way. But at root, there
At root.
are certain healthy, positive, uh, moral bases to Christianity, and that's exactly why it took off in the end, because it was seen as a beacon of light in a very, very dark world.
You know what's interesting about that? Before the rise of, or even the existence of Christianity, there were many in Rome, especially among the elite, who longed for the ethics and the virtues of the Republican days. And they found um, they were very interested in Judaism because they saw within Judaism some of the virtues and some of the ethics and some of the decency that they had associated with family purity and family virtue. And it was interesting to read, if you look at history, how many Roman officers, Roman army officers, administrators, even politicians in the Senate actually gravitated, and some actually converted to
There
Judaism
were
because
actually there were many, more than people realize. There were many converts, particularly from Roman aristocracy,
correct.
to Judaism.
So,
Onkelos Hager, Onkelos the
exactly.
convert, the famous who lived at the very beginning of the early years, the earlier part of the first century, according to the Gregorian calendar. Um, he who wrote the most authoritative Aramaic translation of the Torah, which is used to this day. He was a convert of Roman extraction, Roman aristocratic extraction,
Correct.
and he was not the only one by any means.
So it's curious. I always wondered whether it would be nice to write kind of a counterfactual history if the Roman Empire uh, converted to Judaism, and what the future would have been like for our people if the Roman Empire had become a Jewish empire. Could have been rather interesting, I must say. But I
This
guess I'll
this
wait.
this was the genius, if you want to put it that way, of the quintessential and most influential Jewish salesman of all time. I refer to Paul,
Oh, Paul. Oh, God.
whose real name was Shaul of Tarshish,
Right.
which is a town on the southern coast of modern day Turkey, at that time known
Turkey.
as Asia Minor. He's known as Paul, and he really, to some large extent at least, not he invented or defined many aspects of what became known as Christianity, and he was the most successful salesman of this new creed to the Gentile masses. He understood that you could not sell uh, Judaism to the Gentile masses.
It was too
And,
hard.
and that's okay, that's fine. We are not trying to convert the entire world to Judaism. We do believe, and it is our responsibility to teach the entire world about the Torah, and that the Torah is for all people, Jews and Gentiles. And according to the Torah, Jews are required to live according to a set of principles and precepts and commandments, mitzvot, 613 in number, and B'nai Noahides,
Have
according to
seven.
the system of seven mitzvot, Sheva mitzvot B'nai Noach. That is our responsibility. That is what the Torah teaches. That is true. But Paul understood, being a very perceptive individual apparently, and very persuasive, and very apparently charismatic, he was able to sell this newfangled creed, which was, to some extent at least, Judaism without the commandments. That's basically what
Right.
it was. And one thing you could not tell anyone at that time, by the way, no, you could not tell any Gentile population in this part of the world, where the main type of meat that was consumed constantly
Pork.
was pork, that you can't have pork. But as soon as you remove that restriction, you could find yourself many converts.